Welcome to segment 5, or 4 if you didn't watch the Thanksgiving show, and our last show for the NFL week. And believe it or not, you are on the real 200th show. Congratulations.
All right, I feel honored. I almost got the deer. Right.
Even though I will have Adam on the show in a couple of weeks, and we're going to do a little party for it. I think I'll probably invite you on the show as well.
All right.
You are on the real 200th show.
Well, I feel honored now.
So, congratulations, audience. Although this is probably like upload 203 or something like that, I'll have to look, but you were on show 200. Good for you.
All right.
So anyway, back to our late games this week. In show 203, I'm not sure what this one is. It'll probably get only 10 views anyway. Anyway, San Diego against Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati coming off some rest this week and probably some needed rest as a team starting to have that Pittsburgh and Baltimore catch up to them a little bit right now. And they're starting to give this division a chance for other teams to get in it. And they got to try to find something going here as right now Andy Dalton's starting to struggle a little bit, as we noticed in the last 2 weeks. After winning the AFC Player of the Month, he's pretty much died down from that.
Yeah.
So that team needs to find something going here, and San Diego, they found something last week. They went down the Chiefs in a very high-scoring game that one. Rivers, I said this last week as well. I'm like, the kid has some potential in him, and he proved me that last week as he took down a very tough Tennessee team, and not just take him down, but beat him up pretty much.
Even the deer says you took him down.
I know. He was falling down with them. But again, the Tennessee defense that pretty much got beat up against San Diego, and I was quite impressed that the game was that high scoring because of the Kansas City defense.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Philip Rivers, I think Chargers are actually as well in that hunt for the AFC here.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my bold prediction of the year: San Diego's making the playoffs. I feel like they're going to be the team to get that last wild card spot. I feel like they're the best team out of anybody in that. Even though I feel like Pittsburgh is going to win the division as well. That's another thing I'm going to say for Cincinnati. Sorry, Cincinnati. Sorry, everybody else who's in the little wild card hunt. But I feel like the Chargers are the team that's going to take this 6th seed. I feel like they have the most potential of any of those teams. I feel like.
Interesting.
So, and since I'm picking them in that, I'm going to have to say San Diego's going to win that with this one, 31-24. Because I just feel like the San Diego offense has something going, as the Rivers and Woodhead connection is working pretty good so far this year.
He misses you too. Well, this one seems more of a toss-up game, although some people are jumping on the San Diego bandwagon a little bit.
Oh man, this is a close game in my mind. I think about this one a little bit.
One quick shout-out, Cincinnati Bengals, of course. When the Browns had their bye week, it was FSO girl Sarah's birthday. When the Bengals had their bye week, it was Christine's birthday, so we got to give a quick little shout out. Thank you. Christine, happy birthday. Anyway, back to this game. San Diego had a very impressive win over the Chiefs. Who would have thought the Chiefs would have struggled after starting 9-0? But this is the point where they're playing actual real teams.
That's what I said at the beginning. I said once they play a real team, they're going to start struggling, and now they are.
Mm-hmm. But believe it or not, I think the bye week helps Cincinnati. And I think they win this game 35-31. San Diego is another team on the map that looks to be making the playoffs. Who knows? But I think they're going to start up next week. Who knows? But I could be wrong. And the game that really should be the Sunday night game, but it's the America's Game of the Week slot, Kansas City against Denver.
Well, Denver last week was mentioned earlier in the show. They took a a disappointing loss to New England, which I feel like they should have lost no matter what, but just their
Basically, they called poison and drank poison.
pretty much. As like I like to say, Tom Brady gave him a 24-point lead. Just to make Peyton Manning feel good, and then he destroyed his hopes by taking the win at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And Peyton Manning did not play an impressive game that week. I don't know if it's maybe because of the wind, but I think he only threw for like 100 and something yards in that game, which
I think it was because of Belichick.
it might have been. Talking about that team, they could not do anything against New England defense, which I was actually surprised to see that New England defense is the number one defense in that fantasy football this year, which is quite impressive to me. I don't know.
The thing we learned from that game was Bill Belichick has of steel.
Yes, he does. Because right now he is just doing something for that team. But anyway, back to Denver and Kansas City here. Kansas City again, also like we mentioned the last game, take a surprising loss to San Diego after having such a great season. And I said this, I think a couple weeks ago, possibly more longer than that Kansas City, once they start playing real teams, they're in trouble. And because I do not feel like this team is a division leading team. I don't feel like this team is like a 5th seed. I feel they're like a 6th seed, and maybe not even a playoff team, I feel like.
Who knows?
But, again, I think Denver has too much power on their team. I'm expecting Wes Walker to be a little more healthier after his concussion he suffered 2 weeks ago. And his team being a little more healthier now. And I feel like they're going to take this one 35-20 over Kansas City.
This one was another one of those toss-ups in my mind. When I was watching the Denver-Kansas City game last week, I was thinking Kansas City is going to beat Denver once. And unfortunately, they play them this week, which it looks to be like Denver's going to beat them. And you know what? I'm going to pick that Denver beats them. I had Kansas City beating them, and I'm going to change my pick right now to Denver. Same score, 38-35. I think that Peyton Manning is just too good for the Kansas City defense, as we saw the first time they played him. And that might be this one. Although I still like the name Dexter McCluster.
That is a cool name, yes.
It's like on Elf. Francisco, that's fun to say. McCluster, that's fun to say. Denver wins 38-35, I think. But who knows? Maybe Kansas City could beat them. But we have the Sunday night game now that really possibly shouldn't be the Sunday night game.
No.
The Giants against the Redskin Potatoes?
Redskin something, I don't know what they are anymore. And we have the Giants team who, after having a 4-game winning streak, had a little letdown last week because they lost to Dallas at home, which that one surprised me as well. I had quite a few surprises last week in the NFL. And this team trying to get themselves in a playoff position, but it's hard to do when you're taking these losses. And possibly conference is now, I think they're 2 or 3 games out of the division lead now. So that division lead might be slipping away from them very quickly here. Yeah, the team is playing better, but I don't know about good enough to make playoffs now. That's the issue for them. And Washington, oh my God. Oh, you guys you're not playing like we expected you to play this season. RD3, he is getting banged off way too much in that backfield. If you're in Washington, look for a lineman next year. That's all I got to say for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my opinion for the Redskins. This is my option. I'd bench RD3 this week and just bench him for the rest of the season. You can tell he's still hurt from that injury he had last year.
Yeah.
And if you want him to be a franchise quarterback for this team, it's safe just to take him out and let Cousins play for the rest of the season. Because even if RG3 out, I believe Cousins can get him some wins. Because even though Shanahan said we're playing for jobs now pretty much, you're pretty much also playing for someone else's career if you keep RG3 in. Because he takes another couple more hits like he has been taking, especially like last week. He got lit up last week.
Yep.
And now he's playing another good defense this week in New York. I don't know. I just feel like Washington does not have anything going for them this season. I believe Cousins should start this week. But again, I still think the Giants will win either way, 27-10. Washington fans are just not in the mood right now, and I feel like the stadium is not going to be hyped like it should be.
It's in New York.
Is it in New York?
Yeah.
I think it's in. I had it in Washington.
It's in New York.
Is it New York? Oh, I must have wrote down one then. Oh, oops. Anyways, well, if it's in New York then they pretty much, New York should have a lot of home field advantage then, and...
Mm-hmm. Either way, they'll win.
Yeah, either way, they'll win no matter what.
But anyway, this is how Washington has been playing like this year. Basically, if you've watched Impractical Jokers, you know what I mean. Scoop, skip, potatoes! If you saw my tweet after Monday night's game. Scoop, skip, potatoes! Breaking news, the Redskins changed their logo to a Redskin potato.
They might have to. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of question marks in Washington, unlike last year, and as the Monday Night Crew even brought up, they're like 6-13, minus the 7-game winning streak.
I believe so.
Something like that, and that's not good. Who knows what could happen in Washington? Giants win this game 27-7. That's the only single-digit score I have on the thing. Everybody else I have in double digits. The Monday night game, and we might be saving the last bit of cranberry sauce and the last bit of the Thanksgiving dinner for last. If you're still eating leftovers at this point, good for you. I'm done by Saturday. Seattle against New Orleans.
Well, yeah, the New Orleans team who, again, let's mention this first, though. These are the two best teams in the NFC going at each other this week, and the winner of this game will take the first seed in the NFC right now. And New Orleans right now playing at a top notch like we expect them to this season, as they beat up Atlanta. They were a close game with them for a while in that game, but they get the win in that one. And then you have a Seattle team who is coming off a bye week this week, and I believe that's the week before they finally got something going after having 2 horrible weeks and almost taking some losses in those 2. Mm-hmm. Seattle is at home in this one. That is one thing I think that could help them a little bit in this one and possibly get them for the win, but I feel like Seattle's defense, they're missing too many parts now, because I can't remember what player one of the defense players got suspended, and they had to sign a free agent to try to fill in for him. Mm-hmm. And I think New Orleans and Drew Brees are going to notice this very, very quickly and take advantage of that. And that is why I have the 12th man going down this week, as New Orleans is going to win this one 31-28.
Yeah, this game will determine pretty much who gets the 1 seed, basically. I looked at a stat that it said Russell Wilson and 2 other quarterbacks that had started 12-0 at home or something like that. Both their quarterbacks, or both their teams, lost to the Saints for their first home loss. Which makes this game very tough to pick. I have it 14-13 at Seattle right now. New Orleans 31, Seattle 17. I changed it right now.
Another big change you made right there. Score-wise especially.
I might regret that.
Let's see if you're up to the end of it.
I might regret that, but I'm gonna pick the Saints 31-17. Bold prediction of this week. Even though I have a feeling Seattle will still win the game because it's at home. If this game were at a neutral site, I think New Orleans would win. Because both teams at home are good.
Yep.
But I'm going to change it. New Orleans 31, Seattle 17. That is our NFL show for this week. And how many turkeys do we think Rex Ryan was going to eat?
2 or 3.
But anyway, there will be a lot of this on couches everywhere. I know it. And some of that.
Excellent.
So enjoy your turkey. And enjoy the stuffing. And Cole, you can have the Crispies. I don't like Crispies.
No, I think whatever I can get.
Enjoy week 13 in the NFL, everyone.
Gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Gobble.
And bold prediction, Calvin Johnson wins the Golden Gobbler this year.